Hello out there in Freeman land. Today we're going to be looking at rights and what rights are. I just want to remind the viewers that I'm not a lawyer, a solicitor or an attorney, and this is not legal advice. So just remember the copyright. I'll put this down in the description. Check out my website for more information and videos, and also like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I also just want to give a plug to Bill Turner. I don't actually know Bill personally. I have watched all of his videos. When I first started down this path, I found him very helpful because he's New Zealand information like me. There are other people in other parts of the world that have very helpful information, but I find Bill Turner's information to be very well searched and presented. So where do rights come from? If you don't know what rights you have no rights. So in Black's Law Dictionary we find this entry under claim of ownership, right and title. Okay, so ownership, right and title are much the same thing. You see here that it says claim of right, claim of title and claim of ownership are synonymous. So when we go to the right entry in Black's Law Dictionary, we see here some interesting stuff, but most of this, if you read it, I suggest pause and read it, basically supports the idea that a right is based on natural law and lawful principles. What you will notice also, just down here, is they define them as legal and equitable, and the latter, equitable, are such as are enforceable only in equity, as at the suit of the Cestake Trust. So, very interesting place to find the Cestake Trust mentioned. If you're not familiar with what that is, do some research on that. That's the trust formed when your parents register your birth certificate with the government. So the other interesting part of Black's Law, and I encourage you to go and have a look at this. You can actually download this version, 4th edition, if you do a Google search in PDF format. The rights is quite a lot. It's like 2 pages. So here we talk about natural rights, which are based on natural law. And then they go into an interesting thing here about civil rights, right? Such as belonging to every citizen of the state or country, or in a wider sense to all inhabitants, and are not connected with the organization or administration of government. They include the rights of property, marriage, protection of laws, freedom of contract, trial by jury. So freedom of contract. And the other thing, important thing here, is that you don't have to be a citizen to have civil rights. It says all inhabitants. Citizen is a title that you are accepting, and you have no obligation to accept that title. So political rights consist of the power to participate directly or indirectly in the establishment or administration of government, such as the right of citizenship. So citizenship is a privilege that they're offering you. Even though they call it here a right, it's a privilege that carries obligations and duties. You don't have to accept that, and you have the right to participate in the administration of government either directly or indirectly through an elected representative. You don't have to elect them as your representative. You can operate a government directly. So these here just really support the lawful side of the ledger, so to speak. We'll draw some conclusions and you'll see. So the other place that you can look at your rights is things like the Great Charter. And here in New Zealand, fortunately, we have the Magna Carta that's been enacted into our legislation. This is under the Imperial Laws Application Act. And you'll see here that it says, we will sell to no man. We will not deny or defer to any man either justice or right. Okay? So you'll see that the right is protected under this Magna Carta. And this is actually quite interesting. I'll do a video just on this at some point. So they cannot deny or defer either justice or right. And they can't sell it to you. They can't sell you justice. I'll do another video about this, and I'll show you how you can use this to get a claim into the court for free without paying any fees. So a lot of people, when I ask them where their rights come from, say the Bill of Rights. Some people say the police. So I guess they believe that their rights come from the police. So yeah, the Bill of Rights is where a lot of people think it comes from. But you can see here, this is the New Zealand Bill of Rights Act 1990. And I can assure you that rights existed long before 1990. So we can say conclusively that our rights don't come from the New Zealand Bill of Rights Act. They merely list our existing rights. The other place is the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. New Zealand is a member of the UN, although they haven't ratified this. What New Zealand did was they created their own Bill of Rights, as you see right here, and said that it included the principles that this covered. But there's nothing to stop you claiming this as a partial list of your rights. So the other place that you can look, and a lot of people don't know about this, is the Bill of Rights of 1688. This is on the New Zealand legislation website, so it's enacted into our statute law. And as you'll see here, it's reprinted in March 2015, so it's current. One of the rights that's interesting in this Bill of Rights is the right to petition the King directly. This is reference to the King's Bench or the Queen's Bench, which is essentially the People's Court or the common law court. This is a court system that is available to the people if they claim that right and use it. What we've been doing is we've been using the statute kangaroo court system, where they use their legislation and they can chop and change that whenever they want. This Queen's Bench that they're referring to here can only hear the common law. It's the People's Court. So the other one that's quite interesting, and it might be helpful to you people out there who are butting heads with the system for taking your property, that all grants and promises of fines and forfeitures of particular persons before conviction are illegal and void. They need to have a conviction. You can demand a jury trial. That is your right. You'll notice here they use persons. That isn't by accident. These people, even today, are highly educated people. They've been to university, law degrees and the like. They understand the difference between persons and man. And when you go and look at some of the other things like the Magna Carta, you'll see they talk about man and not persons. So they know the difference. Rights versus privileges. Privileges are sometimes presented as rights, as we'll see and as we have seen. Rights are given to you by your Creator. Privileges are given to you by man. They're a benefit or an advantage enjoyed by a person. These are all online dictionaries. So we'll see here, benefit, advantage enjoyed by a person or class of persons. This is a Google search, Black Law Dictionary. So it's a special legal right granted to a person or class of persons. So we can see here that we have some conclusions that we can draw about rights. They're based on natural law and all lawful principles. They're inalienable to man. Privileges are benefits and legal rights basically given to you by man. They can be taken away by man. They're all based in the legal principles and in the legal field. So if we go back to the Bill of Rights, there's a couple of sections that are quite interesting in part 3. We're going to look at both of these. Other rights and freedoms not affected. So your other rights and freedoms are not affected. I'll let you read that. You can pause it and read it. But basically, your other rights and freedoms, they don't list them there because they can't list them. Only you can list them. So maybe you need to start listing your rights. That's probably why you're not getting them. The other section is this application to legal person. And they say here, for the benefit. It's a benefit. It's not a right. Even though they're calling it a right up here, it's a benefit that they're offering. They can take it away. So these are available to all legal persons and for the benefit of all natural persons. So this is the man. This is the legal fiction or the straw man. They're making it very clear here. They're not hiding it. So learn what your rights are, or you have none. And claim your rights. You haven't been receiving your rights because you haven't notified the powers that be what those rights are. Start by doing a claim of right and making it public. I'm going to do a video specifically on the claim of right and where it's supported in legislation. And also visit my website for more videos and information, and like and subscribe my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.